Good morning, class. How are you? This is Sumaira Hussain here. Today we are going to discuss very important topic, that is formal and informal language. We are going to see the difference, that what is the basic difference between formal and informal language. So let's see, please, what are the characteristics of a formal language? And afterwards, we will see that where we have to use the formal language. What are the platforms? What are the people to whom we have to discuss in a formal style? So let's see first the characteristics of a formal language. Formal language is very serious. We have to maintain a serious tone in our writing there in the formal language script. We need not to cast the jokes and the funny language there. Look at the second point, objective. It is always objective oriented. There is always a specific purpose in order to write that formal language. Further, we will also discuss that what are those particular subjects, what are those particular objectives. Let's suppose at your level, when you are writing to your principal, there with the request of request to grant leave. So that is objective, that is purpose, that why you are writing that formal that formal piece of application, because you want a leave. For that you're writing. Suppose your class with you decided to go for a trip, and you want that this request, it should be presented there in front of the senior. Then you'll again write an application. So this means that this writing, this is having a particular and specific objective. Objective, that why you are going to write that. Specific vocabulary. In formal language, we need to use the specific, special words of vocabulary. This is not whatever is coming into our mind and we are writing that. Those are some are conversational words and we are applying those. So those are not giving the impact basically. So we need to avoid informal words of vocabulary. We should use specific vocabulary. Another important specialty and spec of formal languages, it has no contractions. My dear students, I just tell you that usually while making the conversations, we are in the habit to utilize the contractions. We used to say, I'm going there, how are you, what's up, we are going to the market. So this is our usually natural style in flow. Spontaneously, these contractions, these come out of our mouth when we are talking to anyone. But whenever we are writing formally, means we are writing any piece of application, we are writing any letter, formal letter, we are writing any specific, we are writing on any specific topic, article, this may be any sort of application, then we need to remain specific, bound there within the target. We will not go haywire, will not use informal language. We are not going funny and will not cast jokes there. Will be very serious. Our tone will be very serious. We are going to use specific words of vocabulary. And the next thing, complex sentences. Compound and complex sentences are appreciated if the students, they used to write in compound and complex sentences. Controlled. Our style, our wording, it should be controlled. It should not look like that. This is, we are writing freely and the sentence is not going to end anywhere. No, we must have a control on our writings. Impersonal. There should not come anywhere the impact that we are getting personal with the things. So these are the specs of the formal language, that we need to remain serious. We should have some aim, some objective, some specific purpose for writing that. We should use specific vocabulary, and no contractions we are going to apply, and compound and complex sentences are appreciated, controlled way of writing, and impersonal. Now let's see the where we have to use this type of the writing. This is also very important to know, that this style, where we have to opt. So whenever we are in the job interview, so that's very controlled. We are not going to narrate there our personal stories. We are not going to talk there without any purpose. Specific vocabulary we are going to use, and will remain there around our objective, to the point and onto the track we'll move. Similarly, if we are there any professional platform, we are sitting there in front of our boss, we are sitting there in front of there in any at any formal platform, they're in front of any boss, or any where we are going to meet their people formally. So we need to remain formal. And similarly, when you are talking to your teacher, and you're going to discuss something very formal, so you need to discuss in a formal style. And when you are in your principal office, there you'll remain very focused, to the point, and formal. Similarly, class essays, when you're writing any composition which is not narrative, so you'll use formal language. And in business letters, articles, applications, and of course, those are not personal letters, so we will use formal language. Now, move to the other slide, that is related with informal language characteristics. What comes in informal language? Slang vocabulary. We use slang words. Funny style, casual tone, simple sentences are used, plain spoken, punctuations. So there is no any complicated and complicated style. There are no any complex words, simple vocabulary, simple tone, casual style. We may introduce the fun and frolic as well there in our discussion, because of course we are talking to our family, friends, and relatives. So next question is that where we use informal language? When we are composing any text message, when we are writing journals, and when we are writing to the friends and family, so then we are going to use the informal language. So my dear students, I think that we have discussed in detail formal and informal language difference, and we have even discussed this thing as well, that where we have to utilize formal language, and what are the platforms and places where we have to we need to be discussed in informal language. Now, here are some examples. Please, let's see. When we are speaking to a principal, we might say, good morning. This is a formal way of exchanging the greetings. Good morning. But look at the same situation, that when you are saying good morning to your friend, so what we are going to say at that time? Howdy, howdy. But in your application, in your formal letter, suppose if you are going to address there to the principal, you're not going to start that with howdy. There is a proper word, good morning, assalamu alaikum. So there is no any need to use this type of the expression there, howdy. So similarly, look at the other sentence. When we are speaking to an adult, we might say, I'm confused. You're not getting the thing. You're not getting the point of the elder. So what you will say, I'm confused. So this sentence, it is loaded with respect. But look at the second. When we are speaking to a friend, we might say, I don't get it. This is informal. Straight away you said that you don't get it. But to your elder person, if there is any adult, if you'll say, then probably he'll mind that how much blunt this person is, that he didn't bother for the courtesy words, courtesy language. So you need to remain polite in your tone and choosy in your words. Similarly, here are some more examples. When we are speaking to a teacher, we might say, please show me where the cafeteria is. Please, this is a courtesy word. Show me where the cafeteria is. But when you are talking to your classmate and you are asking the same query, they are saying, show me where it is. This is again a very straightforward sentence where you don't care of the courtesy words. When we are speaking to an adult, we might say, will the nurse assist the doctor? But when we are talking to the friend, who will assist the doctor? Who will assist the doctor? So this is the style. How do you know when to use formal or informal language? Again, this is a very pertinent question. We need to look about, care for these things. What is the event? What is the size of the audience? Who is the audience? What is the relation of the speaker to the audience? What is the task you have been assigned? So what is the event? If it's a birthday party and there are your friends, family, and you're writing a letter to your friend in order to invite him onto that birthday party. And what is your relationship? Both of your friends. And what is the task? You're inviting your friend onto the birthday party. So definitely, when you look at all these things, you'll decide that this is informal platform. And here you need to remain in informal language. And similarly, if the event is that it's a principal office and you're going there in order to take 1 day off, what is the size of the audience? You and the principal. Who is the audience? No one is there. What is your relationship with the audience? You are a student. A tone of respect should be maintained between principal and student. Student remain respectful, formal. And what is the task? You're writing an application in order to take the leave. So all these, while looking at the questions, answers of all these questions will come to the point that this should be formal. So this is our today's lesson. My dear students, probably you will be in position to understand what is a formal language, what is the informal language, what are the places where we need to use formal, and what are the places where we need to use informal language. So now I'm also, please, you need to listen this lecture very carefully, and I'm also going to assign you some tasks which you have to do afterwards. Thank you very much.